Hello everybody, I am back with another video and I wanted to give you a quick update about the Swipe Around the World challenge. I have been swiping this week in Turkey and Greece, and Turkey was really good, and that's why I spent some extra time there. There's a lot of matches there, and so if you are one of those ladies who likes to travel and date, travel and you date and use apps and stuff when you go dating in other countries, Turkey is definitely a place that you don't want to miss, especially if you are a black woman like me. I had a lot of matches and I thought, okay, Turkey is probably going to be one of the highest match places that I ever swipe in this app. Then I moved over to Greece and I got so many super likes and matches in Greece that it was like almost, crazy to keep up with. And so, obviously a lot of the people you are not going to be able to talk to because maybe some of them don't speak English, or they find out that you're not actually there, and they decide that they kind of don't want to continue talking to you because they're looking for somebody that is really there and not someone that's using Tinder Plus. But if you are going to Turkey or especially Greece and you're interested in dating, or you've thought about possibly opening up some businesses there or moving there yourself permanently, and dating is part of your decision-making process, if that is the case, these are definitely two countries where you're going to have a great dating life. And, if you can make the business work, that would be great too. But, I have often thought about moving abroad myself. And one of the decision-making points is, what is the dating like in that country? Like, if I'm going to go there and be sort of an outcast or somebody that sort of an untouchable when it comes to dating, that's not going to be a place that I'm interested in going, because I'm interested in dating and finding a life partner. But it seems like Turkey and Greece are definitely places where you'll definitely be able to do a lot of dating. And that sort of leads me to another story that I wanted to tell. I was also swiping a little bit in one of the swipes that I did in Turkey. I met up with a guy. I didn't meet him, but let me just say, okay, I'm swiping in Turkey and I did not match with this particular guy. But since my Tinder profile is connected to my Instagram, he must have checked my Instagram, found my name, and maybe he doesn't have Instagram to be able to contact me through there, so he tracked me down on Facebook, right? So I get a message from like some strange person profile of a person with a bag, a paper bag over their head. So I'm like, okay, this is weird. But I thought, okay, well, let me see what it's saying, or answer the person, see what they have to say, because sometimes people from different groups, I'm in a lot of different groups, travel groups, all types of groups on Facebook, and sometimes people will private message me about maybe something that I mentioned in a group or something like that. So, if it's a legit question from somebody about maybe something I've done while I traveled or anything like that, it could actually be something important or somebody that needs my help. So I said, all right, let me answer it. So I answer it, and he's like, oh yeah, I found you on Tinder. And then he sends me pictures of himself, and I'm like, well, I don't remember matching with this guy. So, and like, I knew that based on the pictures, I wouldn't have matched with this guy, but I don't even remember seeing him. So he must have been one of those profiles that, don't have pictures posted of himself, which is like, why do people even do that? Like, does anybody actually swipe right on a profile, like, without a picture on a dating app like Tinder? Like, that's based on looks? I don't know. Like, that just, I'm like, why do people actually do that? But anyway, so I didn't shut him down right away because I was like, maybe he's a nice person. So let me just keep talking to the guy. And so we kept chatting a little bit, and he was telling me about himself and blah, blah, blah. So I guess about 10 or 15 minutes into the conversation, he kind of inserts in, like, have I ever done anything wild and crazy? Or am I into doing things wild and crazy? Something like that, he said. And I was like, yeah, sure. Because I'm thinking he's talking about, maybe my travels or some of the things that maybe I've done. Because I had a picture of me almost going hang gliding on my Instagram. But I never actually went because the wind picked up and they canceled the flight. So, like, little things like that. And I thought maybe that's what he was talking about. And so I'm like, yeah, sure, yeah. Sure, I'd like to do crazy things or whatever. And so he's like, well, what I mean is, and this is my voice. I'm not at all talking in this man's voice because he was from another country. So, but, it's like, well, what I mean is a threesome. Like, would you ever try a threesome? Would you want to try a threesome? And I'm like, wait, what? Like, you and me have been talking for maybe 15 minutes. And that's first of all. And second of all, I didn't match with you on Tinder. So I don't know if his picture was there or not, but like, we didn't match. So why would you ask somebody that you didn't match with on a site like Tinder if they would be willing to have a threesome? Like, it's like you're setting yourself up for failure. Why are you doing that to yourself? Like, why? And why are you wasting my time? Like, I'm just like, okay, seriously? So what I said back to him was, sir, I would not even sleep with you by yourself, let alone add someone else into the mix. Thanks, but no thanks. And so he quickly blocked me, which is also a thanks to that man, because you did the work that I don't now have to do, because that was going to be my next thing. But he beat me to it, so that's awesome. And so if you're watching, mister, thanks, buddy. Next time, be respectful. I'm still a lady. Just because you met me on Tinder does not mean that I'm not a lady or that I don't deserve respect. Would you ask somebody that you met on the street for a threesome? Somebody that you don't know? I just don't understand the mentality of people that do that. And why would you want to even sleep with somebody that, like, in a threesome that you don't even know? Like, you haven't even taken time to know that person. What is that about? In this day and age, like, I wish men knew that you could get much more out of a woman by being respectful to her, and getting to know her, than being so forward and, like, putting yourself out there, like, in that kind of way with her. Because that, for me, and I don't know about everybody, but for me, one of the biggest turnoffs is for somebody to come off at me real sexual in the beginning before I even get a chance to get to know them. Like, I don't even know your last name. I don't know all that much about you, but you want to go there already? Like, that's just not me. That's not my style, and I don't really appreciate being treated that way. I'm not a sex object, and I know that a lot of people have the feeling that black women are these hypersexual beings and all they want is sex and blah, blah, blah. But no, we're more than that. And a lot of us, there may be some women that do just want that, and that's fine for them. But, like, I think you should err on the side of maybe that's not everybody, and mostly you should just say, okay, this is probably not one of those people. Let me be cautious and let me be respectful first and see where her head is at. And then, you know, after I've talked to her for more than 5 minutes, then maybe more than 10, 15, like, you know, let me go through a couple conversations and see where her head is at, and then get to that. You know, there's been times where I've been on talking to somebody and they're asking me, like, when's the last time I had sex? Like, why do you care? Why do you want to know about that? You know, so, like, how do you guys deal with these kind of conversations from men right away? What is your strategy or your way of dealing with it when these guys come at you, you know, come off about sex right away after you've met them? How do you deal with it? What do you say to them? How do you let them know? Do you just cut them off right there and stop talking to them? Or do you check them, but then keep talking to them and allow the conversation to continue? I'm kind of more along the lines of, like, I get real turned off and I just stop conversing with that person pretty much altogether, because it feels like he just disrespected me, you know, or doesn't appreciate me or doesn't value me. And so I feel like, you know, I just cut it off right away almost. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I really do appreciate you coming by. And I will keep you updated on the rest of the swiping and any dating stories that I have. And if you have any dating stories, or you know of any, if you can point me in the way of how you handle men who come off sexual right away, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Have a great one. Bye.